Hey guys, it's Ankit here and welcome to the Leadership Trueclass. It's amazing to see we got around 60 people today. So while we are waiting for them to turn up and fill the classes up, let me tell you a little bit about why I created this webinar. I'm seeing a lot of people asking the same questions again and again every day as to there's so much information available out there, so many courses, workshops, webinars, seminars, books, coaching programs, online trainings. Where do I start? Which one is the correct program for me? And it's quite a daunting question. And well, one way to find the answer is by spending a lot of time and money yourself by going through those programs and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. Or how about I invite you to spend next 60 minutes or so with me, where I'll share a lot of things that I picked up myself by attending and spending hundreds and thousands of dollars into those workshops, seminars, and also a lot of my personal research that I've done in this area. I'll be sharing with you. You would ask a question like why did I spend so much time and money by attending those workshops, programs, or seminars, or books, or things like that? Well, number one, research. Number two, if I can pick up one new thing from those workshops that can help me help people even better, that's fantastic for me. So the way today is going to work is I'm going to cover a lot of information, and I'm going to cover it very quickly, as this may be the only time you and I work together. So during the sessions, I'll also show you where you can go and get more help if you require. So let's begin this Leadership Trueclass for 2018. Okay, first up, who is this webinar for? So this webinar is specifically created for leaders within the organization and also the entrepreneurs who wants to be effective in setting goals, utilizing their resources, increasing productivity, and ultimately freeing up more time to create a lifestyle that they wish for. Clear on that? So in this session, in the next hour and a bit, I'm going to show you how to set goals like a leader, how your mindset is affecting your success, skills and tools you need as a leader, and implementation strategy. Okay, my promise to you, by the end of this session, we will have identified some of the goals that are important to you, that mean something to you. I will have given you some tools and resources to be a true and effective leader within your organization or your own business. And before the end of the webinar, I'll show you what you can do to guarantee momentum. Sounds good? Alrighty, just getting some questions from Paula. Paula, if we can keep the questions to the end of each session, so I will give you guys an opportunity to ask questions every now and then, if that's okay with you. Paula says okay. Cool. Alrighty. So step one in creating a leadership mindset is values. What are values? So values are the personal things that are important to you. They are how you differentiate between what's wrong and what's right in life. Your behavior, how you behave in an everyday life situations, is driven by your values. Hence, it has huge impact on the results that you're going to achieve or results that you don't achieve in your life. So it's a double-edged sword there. Your values and your understanding of your values will help you set priorities in your life. Decisions in conflict of your values and will, excuse me for a while, the decisions that you will make, if they are in conflict of your values, naturally you will feel anxious, uneasy, or frustrated, and that's something you want to avoid. And how are we going to avoid such a situation? So you are going to avoid that situation by creating a top 10 values list for yourself. So I would suggest you have a piece of paper and pen handy and make a list of top 10 values that you will stand up for. Doesn't matter what the situations are. These are the things you will not change whatsoever. These are the things you won't change just because you're trying to be part of a group or being accepted by someone. This is you. This is your DNA. I'll give you a couple of minutes to write it down, because this is going to set the foundation, or I should say set the scene for what we're trying to achieve from today's sessions. To give you help, or to help you a little bit, let me show you my top 10 values. These are a few things that are really important for me: progress, faith, selflessness, commitment, honesty, spirituality, contribution, truth seeking, leadership, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm doing this, and love. For me, whatever may be the life circumstances, I will stand by my values. These are my values and nothing's going to change it for me. So have a think about it for a couple of minutes and see if you can come up with a list of 10 values that are most important for you. If you're struggling to come up with a list of 10 values, write down as many as you can, or email me after the webinar and I may send you a list of I guess it's around 50 to 60 values that people generally hold up to. So maybe that gives you like a shopping list, and gives you I guess a visual clue as to what could be your values. All right, moving on. The next thing is commitment. So the next thing that I would like you to do is commit yourself that from today onwards you are going to stretch yourself. What I mean by stretch yourself is get out of your comfort zone. Stretch yourself that one little bit. Even if you can stretch yourself 1 centimeter at a time every day, you're gonna get crazy results at the end of the year or end of the 6 months or whatever your goal is. Second, take responsibility. This is very important. As you can probably see that I highlighted that in red on the slide because that's the most important thing. Take responsibility of your actions. You are the one who is responsible for your own destiny. No one else is responsible for that. If something good has happened to you, take responsibility. If something bad has happened to you, take responsibility of that too. Don't pass on the blame on a person or a life condition or a situation or lack of resources. If you keep putting blame on someone or something or some situation for not being able to achieve what you haven't achieved so far, let me tell you something. I can guarantee you will never achieve what you want to achieve. So step one, from today, take responsibility of everything, every situation that has happened in your life. Third, be aware and be available. What it means is be aware of yourself. So that's what we call self-awareness. And being available is having your ear, eyes, and brain open to constructive criticism. Being available to understand other person's perspective, or understand the perception of other people, or understanding what is that I'm lacking, and am I available or am I responsible enough to acknowledge that fact or acknowledge that gap and take action on it. which leads us to the fourth point, which is take action. It's one thing to take responsibility, be aware, be available, but after all that, if you're just gonna sit and not do anything about it, it's not going to help you. So take action. And the last and the most favorite of mine is be outstanding. Doesn't matter what you do, how big, how little. Even it could be the most simplest task. It could be as simple as, I don't know, mowing your grass. Be outstanding at it. Commit to yourself today that whatever you're going to do from today, even if it's as simple as reading a book, riding a bicycle, be outstanding at it. Commit yourself to that. From today, my minimum standards is being outstanding. It brings me to a very interesting story from a client of mine, which happens to be a student from Bangladesh. I'd like to share this story, and I'm just going to quickly flip over to my face so you can, I guess, see me how passionate I am about talking about this story. Hey guys, so this was a student from Bangladesh. His dad called me up to sign his son up, who was 20 years of age. So as I guess a company policy, we don't really sign someone up for some other on behalf of someone else. So such sign-ups usually happen with consent of the student. So in this example, the father wanted to have few sessions for his son, and son also wanted to was keen along. They wanted to figure out whether investing $75,000 in a accounting degree in Australia is a wise decision. And I said, okay, sounds good. It's not going to take more than 5 sessions, so I believe roughly $3,000, which seems to be an excessive investment at that time for the father and the son. But I said, hey, come along, and I guarantee you will see value out of it, and they did. So came along. So I had a quick after in those 5 sessions, my basic focus was to have a chat with the student and figuring out why is that he wants to study this degree. What's his intention to come to Australia and study this degree? And he said that this university is really cool because you only have to attend lectures once a week, and even if you don't attend the lectures once a week, the professors are okay as long as you can pass your examinations, and they don't mind you working more than your designated 20 hours a week. So for me, that was like red alarms right there. So I said, okay, hang on, guys, let's figure out there's some values issues there. Me being I guess honesty, spirituality, and love and all that being my foremost values, I want to make sure that this dude knows what his values are. So I asked him, how important money is to you? He said, reasonably important. And I said, the money that you are investing, is it your money or your dad's money? He said, it's my dad's money. Has your dad worked hard to earn this money? He said, really, really hard. My dad's been working for the last 25 years. He's using his savings and his retirement fund to pay for this degree, because $75,000 is a lot of money in Bangladeshi currency. And I said, okay. So I said, is family one of your values? And he said, yeah, sure it is. So is family important to you? He said, yeah, sure it is. So how would you feel wasting the hard efforts and work that your dad has done over the last 25 years? And he said, no, I would never do that. I said, exactly. I said, if you are paying $75,000 for a degree over 2 years, That's a significant investment, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So tell me, as a as for value for money, considering you were worried that $3,000 for 5 sessions is too much, dude, you're paying $75,000 over 2 years. What does that come down to a session if you're only attending one session? He was shocked. His mindset was that it's okay to pay such a large significant amount of money and not attend the lectures, but that was changed. I said, if I was in your situation, man, I will make most of that $75,000. I will attend all the lectures, all the tutorials that are possible. I want most of my money. I would harass the hell out of the professors and make sure they teach me something more, help me grow my network in a new country, being Australia, or help me with my job skills, or help me with more technical skills that are outside the scope of the 13 lectures that you need to attend to pass a course. I'll make sure that I get the maximum bang for my money. I'm really happy that with this new mindset, he is coming to Australia this year, and I hope to see him again. And I was quite grateful that for a very small amount of money, I was able to help a father save $75,000 going in drain. Okay, back to my colorful slide. Okay, so after you have got a list of 10 values that are important to you, after you have made a commitment to yourself to stretch yourself, be taking responsibility, being aware and available, and taking action and being outstanding, the third most important thing that you got to keep in mind is knowing your personality, which is taking that self-awareness to the next level. So the question that I get asked is, what is your leadership style? Or what is my leadership style? Wrong question. Why? The question that you gotta answer before you can figure out what sort of leader you are is what sort of a person you are, which is what is your personality style. Most of us think that we know ourselves already. It's like, oh, dude, I know myself best. What are you talking about? Well, be honest to yourself. Remember, being aware and available. Yeah. Be honest to yourself and ask yourself, how well do you know yourself? As the old saying goes, man, you don't know what you don't know. So how do you know what you don't know? A golden tip: do yourself a huge favor. Get a personality profile done. Yeah, that's the biggest investment that you're going to make in yourself. Self-awareness is the biggest asset you can have, and it will unlock a lot of things, a lot of reasons as to why have you succeeded or failed in your life. Questions? Yes, Eddie. What is a personality profile? So what we're talking about is that there are a few different names here. So you can call it personality profiling, psychometric testing, or testing for your style, testing for your thinking preferences. There's a few names out there, but I think psychometric testing is the general word people use. John's asking which one's the best. I'll come back to that, John. Just hang in there. One more question I'll take before we move on. Yes, Taylor. Most of those personality profiling are very, very expensive. How do I know that I'm getting most for my money? Um, Again, as I said earlier, this is the best investment you will make in yourself. So if you get a personality profile done today, that's not going to change much. So it's like you get it done today, and that's an information that you will use going forward for at least 5 years or 6 years, or until your life circumstances changes significantly. What I mean by that is, if you are a single guy or girl who's getting their personality profile done, say fast forward your life to 10 years when you are married, maybe have kids or not, so your personality may change, but your personality profiling, if done properly, will dig out your values and things like that. So fundamentally, it's not going to change. So do yourself a good big favor, get it done. Alrighty, let's move on to the next slide. Which personality profiling works? Just to answer John's question. Okay, they all work. They all have different things that they are targeting. So you got to be careful as to which one you are committing yourself to. These are the few things that I have, as I said earlier, invested a lot of time and money. I have been through all of them. I've been through HBDI, MBTI, DISC, and WISC, all of them. And you don't need to go through the whole slide for today, but each of those slides, as it says here, has some applications, some pluses and some minuses, some logic and theory behind it. As you can see, most theories have got some advantages, and and some have their own disadvantages. If you want to understand this in a bit more detail, just email me, and I'll be more than happy to talk it through to you. As I don't want you to be wasting your time and money going through all of them, and by the end realizing that they are same but different. In my opinion, if you are asking my opinion, the one that I feel has got an edge over the rest is HBDI. Not because I'm a HBDI certified practitioner. That's obviously I did it because I believed in it, but primarily because it's being used by 2 million individuals around the world, and it gives you maximum ROI. Yeah, ROI here is not return on investment. This is return on your intelligence. So what are you gonna get? You're gonna get similar success to what some of these people have achieved. Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Cuisine and Home Magazine, the Olympics, the telecom business. So what's the secret? Like, if I just quick over to the previous slide, these are some significantly successful companies around the world. The Olympics in London were one of the most successfully run Olympics for a lot of years. So what's the secret? What did they do, or what are they doing which is different to the other companies around the world? Well, they know that better thinking leads to better performance, and that gives organizations better results. How? This organization used whole brain thinking model to maximize their performance. To show you again, HBDI gives you maximum ROI, similar to these companies, and the secret is better thinking and using the whole brain approach. So what it means by getting maximum return on your intelligence. So if you picture your brain is divided into 4 different quadrants. So the whole brain model ensures that you get maximum return on investment in 4 different aspects of your brain. So to give you a very quick rundown, this blue section of the brain is the one that controls the numbers and the data and the trends and the measurements and that kind of aspects of your day-to-day life. The green sections is more about methods, plan, structures, quality, standards. The yellow section of your brain looks at long-term strategy, vision, the bigger picture, and the red section makes sure that you are making sure about relationships, customers, training, and values and teams within the organization. So imagine by getting a particular personality profiling done, it's going to tell you where you fit in these 4 quadrants. Yeah, there is no right or wrong answer, which is the beauty of this tool. It doesn't pigeonhole you into a particular category. It's not going to tell you, oh yeah, John, you are a blue, so that means you're a numbers person and that's the end of your life. Well, no, not really. The beauty of the tool is you understand your natural thinking preference, and from there you explore the other areas of the brain. So for me, I'm a natural blue, and under stress I move to a natural red, which means that and green is common between either I'm stressed or either I'm not stressed. So yellow is an area of my brain that is not exercised enough, if you put that way. So guess what it means? Now, every time I start a new project, rather than straight jumping to the numbers or the human side of it, or making a to-do list or making a plan, I'm going to ask myself a question, guys. What is the big picture here? What are we trying to achieve? Can we do it differently? Just by asking those 3 questions, I have covered my D quadrant, and the rest is just going to come naturally. So it's allowed me to use my brain more effectively and I guess address the blind spots that I had. Okay, which brings us to our next topic, which is goals. Oh, by the way, this picture is one of my goals. I want to be at this place, which is the primary reason I put this picture in the background. You may have heard a lot about goal setting. There's goal setting workshops, goal setting workbooks, set your goals, write your goals. Just because you have heard something 1,000 times, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Okay? What's going to decide what's going to work is how many of those goal setting techniques have you tried and how many has worked. Me personally, I have tried a lot of different techniques from a lot of different authors and coaches around the world. Some have worked more than the others. So, goal setting is not rocket science, and I'm going to show you steps that I currently use with all my coaching clients, which has helped us achieve 100% strike rate so far. Sounds good? Let's jump in. First step in goal setting is set yourself a glorious glowing statement. What I mean is, when you are writing down your goal, or which is like if you got a piece of paper and pen handy, just write down a goal that you want to achieve. but make it as juicy and as attractive as possible. So something simple. Say one of my goals was to go to Great Wall of China. Sounds pretty exciting by itself, doesn't it? But for me, to make it even more appealing is I want to go to China and visit the Great Wall of China and be part of or feel the history, touch the rocks that were laid hundreds and hundreds years ago. Be part of the culture and understand the significance of the wall. So pretty much writing a statement which is like an advertisement, or which is like a marketing statement for myself. So next time when I see that statement, I'm like, that looks good, let's go there. So write something which is going to sell you. So whatever your goal is, sell it to yourself. So write down a sales statement if it helps you. Make it so attractive that it's not just attractive to yourself, but anyone who's reading it is gonna go, whoa, man, you onto something, aren't you? Write it down. Come on. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this technique. I'm sure you heard this one a few hundred times before, but it's quite scientific. It works it works all the time for me. And through my couple of years of research, I've added an extra word in there. So my smart has got 2 T in it. So it's not a typo, guys. It's quite intentional. So I'm just gonna show you the same smart. The smart technique again, but the only difference this time for you guys is, any guesses? Yes, Graham. Graham saying this time he's going to actually write it down. Legend, Graham. That's the secret. Research says just by writing your goals down, it significantly increases your chance of getting it. Why? Because it makes it legitimate. It makes it visual. It makes it it commits yourself, because it's like, well, dude, this is me who's writing it, so I better do it. Which let me show you something pretty quickly while we edit. So one of the things that I do is, hello again, whenever I'm giving my business card to people in any of the networking events or anywhere I meet, on the back of the card, I'm not sure if you can see, it says here that my goal is, and there's few lines for them to write down. Yeah. So whenever I'm meeting someone, I'll say, hey dude, can I get you to write your goals down? And they'll write their goals down, and I will just give a card to them. Not expecting to be cheesy or anything like that, but hey, even at least by them writing their goals down on a piece of paper, if it helps them achieving that goal, with or without engaging with me, how cool is that? My motto is to help as many people as I can. So whether they were by paid clients or non-paid clients or just acquaintances, who cares? Okay, so let's jump into the SMART technique. Okay, so first one, S for specific. Your goals needs to be very, very specific. So an example that I have for you here is, I want to get a job. Well, guess what? You're not going to get a job by having a goal which says, I want to get a job. Be specific. Say, I want to get a job as a graphic designer. Yeah. Or I want to get a job as a financial accountant within a ASX 200 listed companies in Brisbane CBD, close to the train station. Be as specific as you can. Why? It gives you focus. Which kind of reminds me of when I was looking for a job 8 years ago. I put my feelers out there with some of the recruitment agencies. I was like, "Oh, good, dude. I'm a CP qualified accountant. Help me find a job." Recruitment agents, no offenses. They said, "Okay, qualified accountant. Let him find a job." I'll get a call after a couple of days saying, "Oh, good. Guess what, Ankit? I have a job for you. It's in the northern suburbs, and it's paying X amount of dollars, and it's a asset accounting job." And my response would be, "I don't want to do asset accounting. I can't travel to north side. It's far away from where I am." And the response that I'll get from them is, "Oh, dude, you should have told me before." Okay, I didn't learn from that mistake, so I kept going. Oh, guess what, Ankit? I got a job for you in Gold Coast, doing bookkeeping for a mom and dad company. Sorry, not interested. So what it helped me is, if I haven't set my goals, or even at least told people that what my goals are, like, and being very, very specific, is I want a job as a management accountant within Brisbane CBD, preferably close to public transport, paying between that amount and that amount, considerably, in a company with $500 million turnover or more. Once I did that, I got a job in 2 months. Yeah. Okay, so your goal needs to be measurable. If you don't have a measure attached to your goal, well, how are you going to know that you have achieved it? If you don't know what your destination is, how would you ever know that you are there? You need a number, or you need a measure to compare to. So instead of just writing, for example, I want to lose some weight, be specific and say, I want to lose 10 kilograms of weight. Achievable. Make sure your goal is achievable. It's one thing to challenge yourself and push yourself, but you gotta be totally against setting stupid goals as well. So if your goal is to earn $1 million, well, it is realistic, but probably not achievable if you haven't got a real plan to get it. Which kind of exposes my pet peeve, is that there's a lot of people out there selling $1 million plan, saying, "Hey, guess what, guys? Sign up to my 12-month program and guarantee $1 million." If that $1 million was available, I will personally invest such money for a lot of people to go into that program and earn $1 million, and guess what? The world poverty problem will be solved. Realistic. Make sure your goals are real. So I want to sell my product on the moon is not a real goal, or I want to be an Olympic champion with no training is not realistic. Okay, so there's a little bit of difference between achievable and realistic. Achievable is, do you have the capabilities to achieve it? Realistic is, you may have capabilities, but you gotta be real about it. Time. Give your goal a deadline, otherwise you'll be working on it for the rest of your life. Which is a classic saying is, a entrepreneur without a deadline is a wantrepreneur. So you would just be wanting to be an entrepreneur, or you would be wanting to be a better leader within an organization if you haven't set a deadline for yourself. Having a deadline will give you a sense of urgency to act on it. So this is my extra tea, guys. Tell people about it, right? So telling people about your goals significantly increase chances of achieving it. If you keep your goals secret to yourself, guess what? No one knows about it. So no one's going to really help you by throwing tips and techniques in your way. Things like, if I tell people, "Hey, guess what? I have a new business of of doing leadership and business coaching, where I train, where I work with leaders within an organization, or leaders or entrepreneurs, and I help them achieve what they want to achieve in their life by creating a winner's mindset. Well, if I keep all of that within my brain and not tell anyone, well, no one knows. So I got to go out there and tell a few reliable people what I'm working on. So this, I guess, wraps up the whole smart goal setting thing. But the next two things, what I found is has is I guess like a change in gear. That's what is going to make the difference between if you achieve or not achieve your goal. EPM. So express planning method is a technique or a strategy to break down your goal into bite size. So a question: how do you eat an elephant? Well, the answer is you eat an elephant one bite at a time. So, or not literally. Don't eat elephants. Like elephants. Um, so there was more of a metaphor. So EPM is a very good technique that kind of gives your goal, breaks it down, chunks it down into a bite-sized action items, and that helps you create the much needed momentum. As you adjust or you persist, it's very important. Why you could get really busy setting goals and working on them, but you need to know, as any good player, is when to hang up your boots, but also keep in mind that you're only one step away from your success. How are you gonna go? How are you gonna know? Well, you're gonna trust your instinct and go with them. Success story: Alexander. Alexander, a really cool client of mine, ex-university student. He graduated from university, did his master's in commerce, was struggling to find a job. I think he was trying for 12 months already. As you may imagine, the market is so competitive that one or two small mistakes could lead into a disaster. So when Alex came to me, we worked on a few things, and one of the questions that I asked him in the initial sessions was, what sort of job are you looking for? He said, anything, any kind of job. I said, well, if you are looking for anything, you're gonna get nothing, right? So we went through setting goals for him by using the SMART technique. Made his goal specific. So he wanted to be I believe a financial accountant within a large company by end of December. And how the way we're going to measure is his number of interviews and number of applications he makes during that time. Is it achievable? Certainly. Is it real? Of course, there are jobs available out in the market. So if someone can get it, why can't he get it? Tick, tick, tick. Tell people. So we did some shout outs on LinkedIn, shout outs on Facebook, and after that we broke down his plan, his action items by using the EPM technique. So he had one little thing to work on every week. So every week he would come to a coaching sessions and go home with a project or a task to work on. Next week when he will meet me, he would have achieved something already. Keep drilling, and after 4 sessions, he had his first interview and he got a job. Which was quite fascinating. Obviously, there was a few other things we were working on with him regarding his mindset and other things. But primarily, by writing his goal down, gave him a clear vision as to what sort of jobs he's applying. Because if you keep your job search field pretty wide open on your job search engine, you're not going to get anywhere. So by drilling down, he became very specific, and I think he's doing wonders now. Okay, so the next step after you have set your goals, as I said earlier, is we worked on a few other things, being creating a winner's mindset. So let's look at this topic of creating winner's mindset. I don't think you're going to argue that in this age of technology, what you know is not going to make any difference. It's how you execute it is going to make the whole impact, right? So it's how you execute it, and does your current mindset supports you is going to be the difference. Questions? Yes, Peter. Peter says execution is something he struggles with. He reads a book a month, and he follows a lot of coaches videos and things like that on the internet. He goes to the webinars and seminars quite often, but he still feels that he is stuck. Why is that? Thanks for sharing your views, Peter. It's difficult to be open and honest in an open forum. I appreciate that. So, Peter, it comes down to the execution. What a lot of people fail to understand is gathering more information is not going to help you. So the way I do it is its process is very, very similar to eating. You take a bite and you chew, you digest it before you eat the next one. Yeah? If you had a meal, you need to let it digest before you have your next meal. Same goes for the information. If you got some information, rather than questioning whether this is going to work or not work, try it out. Yeah? By trying it out, at least if it works, you keep that information. If it doesn't work, you throw it out. Okay? So what I mean by mindset. So what I mean by mindset is state management. So state is your emotional state. So your body lives in say, for example, Sydney, New York, London, Ho Chi Minh, Singapore. But the real question is, where does your brain live emotionally? Does it live in a state of anger? Does it live in a state of frustration? Does it live in a state of anxiety? Does it live in a state of sadness? There's a lot of different states. So it's very important for you to know where your brain lives most of the time. As I said earlier, is it in the state of anger, frustration, worry, anxiety, or sadness? And okay, so now if you try to break it down, is why does a brain stay in a particular state and not the other state? I'm trying to address the negative state of mind and why does a brain stays in a negative state of mind. It's going to be usually one of the following reasons, which is my expectations were not met, my beliefs or values were violated, or my needs are not met. Why is it important for an entrepreneur and for a leader? Well, if you think about it, you are an emotional, walking, talking brain who engages with customers, suppliers, clients, people, team members, stakeholders every day. All it's going to take you, or I should say, all it's going to take for your happy state to change is your boss to say, guys, sorry, you can't get that promotion, or one of your major clients saying, sorry, we can't renew your contract, or one of your team members not cooperating with you and gasbagging you behind your back. One little thing is going to change your state of mind. From being happy, you're going to be either angry, frustrated, anxious, or sad, depending upon the situation. And why are you going to feel sad, angry, or frustrated? Is because either your expectations were not met, your beliefs or values were violated, or your needs are not being met. So how do you make sure that you are a rock solid true leader, that you can maintain your state no matter what the situations are? If you remember from the earlier slides, is being responsible. Yeah, so if something's going to happen to you, you need to take responsibility of it. You need to understand, why am I feeling this way in this situation? As I said, three things. Number one is your expectations. So make a list of all the expectations you have in your life for a variety of life situation. So these are like all the shoulds of your life, right? It's like, I should have a big 5-bedroom house. I should have a boat. I've worked hard for the last couple of years. I should be promoted over other person. I'm a very loving and caring and respectful person. I should be respected and loved. Make a list of all your beliefs and values, or you should have done this already. So these are your beliefs, and they probably go like, I believe a particular ethnic group is biased towards me. I believe that I can never get that job. I believe that I can never be healthy or wealthy. Your beliefs and your values take a long time to make, but if done properly, doesn't take long time to change, but have a significant impact on your life. The last step, understand your needs. This is where you got to make a little bit of an effort to understand the basic human needs. There are a few primary needs that every human being have, so they're quite crucial as they shape you and your behavior. So if you think about it, if you have a particular need in your life that is not being addressed, obviously it's going to create a conflict with your current life conditions, and you're going to feel sad about it. And in most cases, your needs and your expectations are going to be quite aligned. So you're going to, I guess, you're going to fail in more than one area. So having an understanding and having by creating a list or writing it down helps you identify. So if you in the future, if you come across a situation, say for example, you didn't get the approval for a training program, or you didn't get an approval from the bank for a loan for your business, what you can ask some questions to yourself, like, why am I feeling this way? What was I expecting? Which of my beliefs have been violated? Which of my needs are not being met here? Moving on. Okay, success story for my friend Andy. So Andy is a web developer who does project work every now and then. So he's been working on large projects for a long time. I believe 7 years. His boss moved on, and he expected, focus that I'm trying to stress on the word. He expected that his superiors should pick him for the job. He believed that he's the best person around for that job. And guess what he did? Nothing. His superiors are not going to know if his true intention was to move up the chain, considering he's been doing the same job for 6-7 years, which may lead the superiors to believe that well, he's quite happy where he is. There's no real need for him to move up the chain. By keeping his expectations and by keeping his beliefs in his brain, nothing's going to help. Just because he believes, and just because he expects, that doesn't guarantee that it's gonna make it worthwhile for him. So the couple of things we worked for him is at the stage where we started, that we didn't know if it was too late already to apply for the job or not, but we said, okay, that's fine. Let's fix and work on the fundamental problems that you're having at the moment. So we worked on his beliefs, we worked on his expectations and his values. We created a plan for him to go and approach his seniors as to what he has been doing in the past, and where does he see himself in next 3, 4, 5 years. And he went with a plan. He went in with a plan with all the gaps that he has and all the trainings that he needs to bridge that gap. So although it was too late for him to get promotion, what he got out of all of that was approval of a training program, which gives him the skills that are perceived by the superiors as something he needs to grow into the next level. And the win there was, after the completion of the training program, he was promoted to a senior web developer, which obviously comes with a decent pay rise and a decent growth in value or self-respect and all the other things that you can't put real money on. So very important. Okay, time management, very important. Very important thing to know here is you and the world's richest person have one thing in common, which is time. Think of the richest person you can think of: Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, pick one you like. You and him have one thing in common: time. Both of you have access to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year. No discrimination there. The difference is how we use time and the ability to find more time. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard a lot of techniques to manage time before, like big rock, small rock theory, to-do list, calendars. Well, don't get me wrong, they are all great techniques, as they will help you organize your current set of tasks. Coming back to the EPM technique that I introduced you in the goal setting program, was I guess it's very relevant to time management as well, because it is structured to how brain works, and hence driving some real results. So I hope you're seeing the whole scene here. You are trying to understand your personality profile. Yeah, you're trying to set some goals, and you're trying to use a technique which is going to help you achieve those goals. And that technique that you're going to use to help you achieve those goals is going to align with how your brain works, which you should already know if you have got some personality profiling done. So I hope you're seeing a pattern as to how all this thing is tying together. Even after all the time management tools in the world that you can use, why is that we don't feel the sense of accomplishment or a sense of completion? It's like you always want to do something. What's next? What's next? What's next? Show me what to do. We are human being, not human doing. Hence, it comes down to what is referred to as time experience. So when you are doing something, it is one of the three notions that you're going to attach to a task is going to make all the difference. A lot of people that I see, meet, and work with, they wake up in the morning, go to work, or go to the business that they have, and they say, It's Monday, tomorrow I have to go to work. As soon as you say have to go to work, it starts going downhill. Because have to is like a compulsion in your brain. You're like, oh shit, I have to do it. It's like someone's forcing you to do it. It's not something you naturally have the passion to do it. The next level up from there, which is a better place to be, honestly, is want to do it. It's like, I want to go to a movie. No one's forcing you to go to movies, but I want to go to movies. So you go to movies and you enjoy the movie. Same applies to work as well. So if you're going to work, say, I want to go to work today. It's Monday. I want to go to work. Creates a whole different mindset as to, wow, I want to go to work. I want to make a change. I want to contribute, and things like that. Ideally, you want to see if you can spend most time in this area, which is called I get to. It's like a privilege. It's like you get free tickets to a concert. Like, wow, I get to go to that concert. I get to meet, Nelson Mandela. I get to meet Gandhi. It's like a privilege. So I know it could be sometimes very hard, but say if you say I get to go to work, like, wow, that's like a privilege, and you're getting paid for it. It's like a double bonus. You get to go to work and you get paid for it, which is very good. This is the notion which most sports people assign to what they do. It's like, I get to play tennis. It's privilege. Okay, just revising one more time what we talked about. Set some values, set a commitment statement. Please get a personality profiling. Set some goals for 2018 and make it happen. And time management, very, very important. And also creating a winner's mindset, which I haven't mentioned on this list, but that was purposeful because I wanted to make that kind of sits across the topics. You got to have a right mindset to be able to even achieve success in those 5 areas. Okay, so that takes us to the last step of the day, of the webinar, which I believe is the most crucial one. So all of those steps when I tried, have worked quite well. But for me to take what I want to do to the next level, this is what I identified as the most important step. Get a coach. Simple. Why? The logic is very, very simple, guys. Implementation is the key, as we discussed earlier. And the most successful business owner and the leader in the organization knows that it can't be done alone. Leave it to the professionals to do it, guys. Implementation is where it's going to make a lot of difference. Even a doctor, if he needs a surgery, is not going to do surgery on himself. He's going to hire another doctor to do surgery on him. Leave it to the professionals to do it. They have done it more than once. They know what works. They know what's not going to work as well. And they can help you get your results faster and in the most efficient way than you probably could if you were flying solo. So how much does a coaching program cost? Again, wrong question. You got to get yourself out of that mindset. The question you need to ask is, how much value can I create for myself with such a coaching program? Or, what is it going to cost me not to hire a coach? It's like, I've been trying a lot of things for a while, it's not working. Well, what if the result that you wanted now, what if you could have got the same results 2 years ago? How good would that be? What's the value of that? Okay, so how can I help you? Well, I can help you by giving you a feel of what coaching is like. I may understand we've got a lot of people here today roughly 60 people, and for a lot of you, you may never been in a coaching agreement before, so you kind of not sure what coaching is like. So it's only fair for me to offer you free, shouldn't say free, it's one-on-one coaching sessions with me for $39. So it's one session one-on-one with me for only $39. As you can imagine, there is limited availability, so I can only offer this price for the first 30 people. So what you're going to get out of this coaching session is similar to what someone gets out of a full price coaching session. So the value here is really great for you, and the only reason I'm doing this is, as I said, it's only fair for you to try it out, get a feel of what coaching is like, and I'm sure after you go through that session, you will fully appreciate that this is something that's going to make things happen for you. Okay, so who is this for? This is for only serious people. Okay, I'm not going to offer this to everyone. So this is only for serious people who want to take their life to the next level, take their leadership skills, leadership mindset to the next level. For someone who is serious about making some changes, those are the only people I'm calling. Scared? Doubts? Please email me any questions that you may have, and I'll try my best to respond back to you. So today I promised that I will show you the tools and techniques and what it takes to be a great leader within an organization and your business. But I am sure that you guys are smart enough. So if someone's promising you that they're going to make you $1 million in 12 months, I'm sure that you are clever enough to realize that it's quite not possible, guys. So the guarantee or the promise that I give is, if you work with me, you will get guaranteed momentum. So you know that feeling of stuck? Imagine that feeling of stuck. We can make it unstuck. We can start gaining some momentum. And for me, that's worth $1 million rather than aiming to earn $1 million. Or you have a choice of keep hoping, keep doing, keep attending more seminars, keep attending more workshops, spending more time and word and money. And I believe I believe you guys are smart enough to put a value on your time. Is it going to be more than $39, or would you rather come along, see how we can make it happen for you, and take it from there? All right. So that's it for me. There's going to be an email address and a link. Please register yourself for your one-on-one coaching session with me. Even if you don't, I really hope that you got a lot out of this session. I really hope that I was able to be precise and clear in the information, and I really hope that the information you find is valuable, usable, and even if you and I don't get to work together, I really hope all the success and blessing for you in your life. The tools that I have shared are quite unique. They work, so I request you to use them. And if, as I said, I don't charge for information, I charge for implementation. So please book your session in and see how we can create an implementation plan for you and make things happen. God bless you. Have an outstanding day.